What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with this 12 days out physique update from Regan Grimes. As we know he's in for this upcoming Toronto Pro. So wanna know what it took for Regan to get into the best condition of his entire bodybuilding career at this past New York Pro. 150 grams of carbs. And the guy is still down to 200 carbs only to push for that conditioning aspect even further for this upcoming Toronto Pro, even though he looks a lot fuller here. So the way Regan just won California Pro, that was him making a bold statement. All the judges, they had him in first place. So from the start of the show, as soon as he walked out for the prejudging, all the way till the end, he wasn't moved from the center stage, not even once. And I believe Regan is well on his way to win this upcoming Toronto Pro as well. Because his competition at Toronto Pro again, that is going to be Sazan Herati. And although he did beat him pretty convincingly, but we are looking forward to this rematch. But that being said, Regan's overall size, his width, his structure, that is simply so superior to a guy like Sazan that there are very little chances of Sazan beating him in Toronto Pro. The fact is, Saz already outconditioned Regan Grimes at this past Cali Pro. And even that wasn't good enough to get even a single first place vote by the judges. The thing is, if Saz tries to come in bigger, he loses that one edge that he has over Regan. And if he tries to come in very sharp and crispy, he loses on the size aspect. And I'm gonna say the aesthetic factor too. And with that kind of momentum that Regan is gaining after winning Cali Pro, he's gonna apply full pressure to present an even better package at this upcoming Toronto Pro. And keep in mind, Regan has done only 2 shows with Stefan as of right now, and they are still trying to figure out the right balance, the perfect combination of everything, and what works the best for him. Now I must say Sazan Herati will be a very unlucky guy if he goes on to place second again for the 4th time in one single year. But he's gonna keep on fighting until he gets his first pro win and gets that Olympia qualification. So the reigning Dubai Pro champion Behrooz Davani, he also dropped some new physique updates. And just take a look at the conditioning of this man. That desert dry conditioning, that is loading. And you can almost guarantee that Behrooz Davani is gonna be 100% in shape. So the real question is, how much better he's gonna be compared to his last year's Dubai Pro look. Because just like Hutcherson, this is another guy who stays 100% locked in all year round. And we have to keep in mind that Behrooz Davani is gonna be stepping back on the stage after a 1-year gap. So this is another guy who is still very young and he's just entering the prime of his career now. And all the competition that he has done so far, he has been absolutely spot on. And all the competition that is going up against Behrooz Davani, they kind of have a disadvantage because Behrooz Davani, he never gives the competition the smallest possible chance, especially in terms of the condition, because he simply never shows up off. And we have been witnessing this trend since 2021. The year he made his pro debut in Romania Pro against Rafael Brandao and Samson Dauda. So Behrooz is one of those guys who has stuck with Milos Sarcev as his coach for all these years. And he continues to get better and better with every passing year. So as of right now, Behrooz Davani has planned 2 shows in the coming month. The first one is gonna be Dubai Pro and then he's gonna do Italy Pro. Meaning he's gonna defend both the titles that he won last year. Now I for one really wanna see how much size improvements has he made in terms of his lower half? How big his legs appear this time around compared to last year? Because in terms of the upper body, he doesn't have any weakness whatsoever. The back is super detailed and very dense. Big wide shoulders, a very small and a very tight midsection. So again I'm gonna say, it's gonna be very hard to beat Behrooz Davani next month in Dubai. Jordan Hutcherson checks in under 11 weeks out and the man is in prep for this year's Tampa Pro. So he was hovering in the 290s just a while back during the peak of season. And just after a few weeks of dieting, he is coming down very fast. And he's now in the high 270s. So that body fat composition, that is also getting better with every passing week. And if we look at Jordan's showing from last year, he was absolutely shredded and ripped to the bone in all the 3 shows that he did last year. And his placings, they continue to get better and better from Chicago Pro to Texas Pro, which was his last show. So he placed his career's highest, 2nd place at Texas Pro, behind Andrew Jack. And if Tampa Pro is what he's looking at, he is gonna be going up against some very tough competition. And most of those guys who are aiming for Tampa Pro, they are also coming back after a big break, especially in case of Justin Jair, who is coming back after 2 years away from the stage. So those quads on Jordan Hutcherson, they looked awesome last year. But he was definitely missing the upper body thickness. And that is why he went so high in the offseason, in terms of the weight, to put on some real muscle, some real mass, especially in his upper half. So the guy is looking a lot leaner right now compared to last year when he was at this same point. So at this point, it kind of seems like that he has added size in all the right areas while keeping his waistline very small, very tight, more or less the same as it was last year. And that is exactly what we call a good offseason, a productive offseason. So looking forward to him stepping back on the stage. And we have to keep in mind, he has to beat some very tough competition in order to get his first pro win and earn his Olympia spot. So all eyes on Blessing Avodibu, as he's now just a few days out of this upcoming Legion Sports, and the man continues to post some old updates. But even those are looking very impressive and very solid. So that back, even without any flex, looks very thick and very detailed, and I'm gonna say very 3D. But that being said, this has been the case with Blessing Avodibu. He has that amazing muscle quality up top, front to back, especially his back. That is probably one of the best in the world, because even when he wasn't winning any shows back in 2021, and the reason of course, that was his legs, which just made his entire physique look so unbalanced. Now his upper half, even during that period, that looked pretty insane. And we are now in 2025, and he's coming back after almost 2 years. So the man took an off-season of almost 18 months, where his sole focus, that was to grow his legs and present a very balanced package, front to back, top to bottom, the next time he steps on stage. So this is another guy who decided to work with Stefan as his coach for this year. And this is going to be their first show together. And up until now, all the progress updates that we have seen from Blessing, his legs, I must say, look bigger and a lot better. So he took more time to die down than he normally does. And that is why he chose to skip the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro, which were on his plans initially. And the reason was to make a very good first impression after 2 years. So he needs to be 100% spot on and to be absolutely perfect in every aspect. So the guy that Blessing is going to be fighting at this upcoming Legion Sports, Tonio Burton, finally opens up about his current weight. So he's at 230 pounds at the moment. And up until last year, he was competing below 220 pounds. And for him, the weight truly matters, because he skipped the Olympia last year despite qualifying. And he took the entire 1 year off just to get bigger, to put on more muscle. Now everyone knows that for Tonio Burton to move up in those Olympia ranks, as he himself says, that he plans to be a top 6 guy at the Olympia this year. And the guy who placed top 8 2 years back, that target seems like a realistic expectation at this point. But for that to happen, he has to show up bigger, with more muscle, more mass. Because we know in open bodybuilding, size matters a lot. Just take a look at that transition before the quarter turns. The symmetry on this guy, that is off the charts. And from this angle, it seems like Tonio has also improved his hamstrings. And that was actually a one critique given to him by the judges in all the 3 shows that he did last year. So Tonio Burton is a legitimate top 10 Olympia competitor from back in 2022. He has been qualifying for the Olympia every single year. Even last year, the 2 guys that beat him at the New York Pro, they have been as high as 3rd and 4th at the Olympia. So Blessing versus Tonio Burton, that is going to be very interesting and a very awesome comparison. So here is an interesting fact for all of you guys. Tonio's biggest strength, they are his bubbly quads and very sweeping quads, which we all know are probably gonna be Blessing's biggest weakness. So do let me know, who do you guys have winning at this upcoming Legion Sports? And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.